He does not raise his voice. He raises the room. The air shifts when he speaks plainly, not with charm, with clarity. And clarity, for many, is a difficult light. Intelligent men do not frighten because they are loud. They frighten because they see. They notice the mask and the face, the promise and the cost, the feeling and the structure that holds it up. This seeing is not an attack. It is a mirror, turned gently toward everything we would rather keep dim. Kierkegaard warned, anxiety visits those who stand near real choice. Freedom is delicious and terrifying. It is the dizziness at the edge of the cliff, the awareness that you could step back, or forward, or fly, or fall. An intelligent man carries that cliff inside him. He refuses sleepy answers. He can't pretend the ground is flat when the soul knows otherwise. This is why some women feel unsettled in his presence, not because he diminishes them, but because he invites them to stand at the same edge. Most people prefer the aesthetic stage, sensation, novelty, the sweet music of maybe. It is glittering, forgiving, endlessly postponable. In that world, a clever lie can be called poetry. A performance can be called love. But the ethical stage demands a vow, a spine, an honest yes. It asks, will you be someone, not merely feel something? Will you build a life you can answer for at midnight? Intelligent men, at their best, live as bridges from the aesthetic to the ethical. They ask clear questions. What do you really want? What will you keep when the applause stops? What will you refuse when your fear begs? They do not accept borrowed desires. They do not spend their days on weather reports from unstable hearts. This is not arrogance. This is stewardship. A husband of time, a guardian of focus. And focus scares those who bargain with fog, because fog always loses to morning. Some women meet this light with their own. Their intelligence is not a contest. It is a second sun. They stand in truth without dramatics. They choose depth over spectacle. Near them, the intelligent man rests. He is not the lighthouse alone. He is the shore. Other women, not evil, simply unready, reach for theater. They build intimacy from tests, and safety from control. They ration warmth to buy obedience. They fear the edge of decision, so they build palaces of delay. They will call your clarity cold, because it does not bend to flattery or crisis. They will call your boundaries pride, because their panic wants purchase. But boundaries are a kind of love for both souls. Why does intelligence feel like danger? Because it ends the performance. It hears the hidden contract in the compliment. It sees the cost beneath the kiss. It refuses the small bargain where two people trade their futures for a weekend that looks good in photographs. Kierkegaard named despair as misrelation, not being who you are, or refusing to become who you could be. The intelligent man threatens comfortable despair. He calls it by name. He invites the leap. And the leap is lonely before it is beautiful. A woman whose self is anchored will not be frightened. She will feel recognized. She will feel met. Not managed, not measured, met. She does not fear the question because she is already answering it with her life. A woman living on borrowed scripts may tremble, not at him, but at what he represents, an unpurchased self, an unnegotiated truth, a love without theater. He is hard to manipulate because he does not worship the stage. He is hard to confuse because he prefers pain to pretense. He is hard to keep if you are keeping him from his calling. Intelligence, when immature, wounds. It cuts for display. It wins arguments and loses people. But intelligence ripened by humility becomes shelter. It names the storm and makes tea. It sees the fracture and brings linen. It refuses to make a religion of suffering. Some say intelligent men scare most women. It is truer to say, clarity unsettles those who live by fog. And fog does not belong to one gender. Men fog. Women fog. We all hide from the mirror when the day is too bright. So what should an intelligent man do? Do not do not perform cruelty. Do not audition for affection by becoming smaller than your truth. Carry your questions like a lantern, not a weapon. Ask softly. Stand firmly. Let your yes be costly, and your no be clean. What should a woman do? Meeting such a man. Do not fear the edge. Walk it with him. Bring your own lantern. Bring your own vow. Ask for partnership, not pedestal. Demand tenderness with the truth, not tenderness against it. When two intelligent souls become honest, attraction deepens into reverence. Drama shrinks. Routine becomes sacred. Silence becomes music. Laughter becomes proof that the abyss can be faced without falling in. If he frightens you, check the fear. Is it his vanity or your avoidance? Is it his control or your habit of drifting? Sometimes fear is wisdom speaking. Sometimes fear is comfort begging. Listen, name it. Choose from truth, not tremor. Kierkegaard did not worship cleverness. He worshipped the single individual, becoming true. Intelligence is a tool for that becoming, not a throne. Let it cut lies, not faces. Let it build homes, not cages. Let it protect one. Or not about men scaring women. It is about honesty scaring illusions. It is about a life that can withstand the question. About a love that can survive the day after the wedding, the grief after the news, the quiet after the song. Be brave enough to be simple. Be wise enough to be kind. Be intelligent enough to be gentle with what is fragile, and relentless with what is false. Stand at the edge without pushing, without performing, without begging the abyss to clap. If he frightens you, ask, what part of me wakes up in his light? If you frighten him, ask, what part of him hides when I tell the truth? Then meet there, at the edge, where anxiety becomes freedom, where despair becomes decision, where two souls stop rehearsing and begin. Walk away from the fog with gratitude. Walk toward the vow with performances. It needs more mornings that keep their word. Speak softly. Stand straight. Let your life be a clear bell in a noisy market. Those meant for you will turn, not because you chased, because you rang true.